Yo, what is up guys? And we are back for another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. And in this video today, we're going to be checking out Videl, but first of all, a couple of housekeeping things. So number one, I have figured out how to screen record in a higher quality. So be expecting a bit, crisper images and stuff from the channel, so that's great news. And I decided to do the game audio today. Usually I'm just rocking, my favorite OSTs or the relevant OSTs of the time, but I decided we're going to rock the game audio along with all of the sound effects and everything else, so we're just going to let it rock like this today. As you can probably tell, I'm recording post-commentary, and again, we are checking out Videl. Now this team, I already, depending on when this particular video goes out, I already recorded a run of her on Majin Buu Saga ESBR, but this variant is a little bit more, I would maybe say it's not completely built around her, but at the very least she's got some more usable units, some better units to run with her, so including this great SAIYAN, who I definitely want to go over. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and just start going over the team. Usually when I do these long, Legendary Goku event or GT Legendary Goku event runs, I like to go over the team that I'm using. So let's go ahead and start with the great SAIYAN and why I brought him. So number one, he's Int, so he's going to be very, very effective in our final fight with the Dragon Fist full power Saiyan 4 Goku, right? So that'll definitely be helpful. So he is getting attack and defense 158%, along with raising attack and defense on Super, and actually he is also lowering attack and defense on Super as well. Now obviously that's not incredibly relevant in here, but of course the raising of attack and defense is a very, very good ability for him. So there are a couple other more quirky parts of his passive, and actually they fit in really well on this team, so straight up. So he gets damage reduction plus 28%. when you have a Youth or a Peppy Gal's ally attacking in the same turn. Well, guess what? Our whole team is full of Youth and Peppy Gals. So let's go ahead and, that was pretty much the reason. That kind of sealed the deal of, well, let's go ahead and run this guy. And again, having type advantage in that final phase, raising attack and defense on Super, and then almost 30% damage reduction, man, that's stellar. I mean, that's incredibly good. A couple of other things he does, so he does give himself Ki at the beginning of the turn, and then he also has a chance of evading plus 18%, so that's obviously just, those are just solid abilities. When you are up against extreme class enemies, he's also getting an additional attack and defense 58%, obviously not too relevant here, but I mean, just from the construct of this team, and the fact that, he's getting that extra damage reduction on top of raising defense, it was like, this is the guy. This is who we're running. So anyway, I decided to bring him, and then of course you can see we brought the Bio Broly movie trio. So the Youth Goten, the Youth Trunks, and then of course Android 18. So let's go ahead and start with Trunks and Goten. So Trunks and Goten, they essentially have identical passives, so they are both getting attack and defense 100% at start of turn, and then they are getting an additional 100% attack on Super, so as you know, they're going to benefit a lot from those traditional type support units. And then, when there is either a Trunks or Goten attacking in the same turn, or if there's an Android 18 and or Krillin on the team, then they're going to give all allies attack and defense 18%, along with a chance to crit 18%. So a very, very good, both of those units are absolutely incredible, right? So, and again, obviously for the Goten, you're looking for a Trunks in the same turn. And then for Trunks, you're looking for a Goten attacking in the same turn. So they are both, ridiculous, especially when you have them on rotation together. They are just, they're crazy boys. They are crazy, crazy boys. Now, Android 18, who as you can see I am running on rotation with Videl for a few different reasons, obviously we'll go over them here. So Android 18, again, very similar passive, attack and defense 100%, 100% attack when performing a super attack, and then, so for the same stipulations, when there is a Trunks or Goten or Krillin on the team, she will be reducing damage by 18%, a chance to perform a critical hit by 18%, and then she's providing all allies Ki 3 attack and defense 30%. So that is incredibly strong, man. And oh, by the way, all 3 of them greatly raise attack and defense for 6 turns on super. So, I mean, if it does not get, in terms of EZA, just banner units, just whatever kind of units, it does not get much better than these 3, man. All 3 of these units are just so good, man. So, they are 3 units that I definitely have to grind their links. They are that good. So, I mentioned that for a good reason, I decided to run Android 18 on rotation with Videl. So, we know Videl. We know how powerful she can be. But we all also know that she has her issues, man. Straight up. If you do not build the team 100% around her, then she is going to struggle for key. Because there are very few units in the game on her teams that rock, for instance, the Courage link, right? Like, there are not too many teams. However, you've got a unit like Android 18 who is going to be giving a lot to Videl. And I mean like a lot, especially for Videl. Again, a unit that just has bad links. I mean, let's just straight up say it. Let's call it what it is. She has bad links. I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, her link set is like, I don't know, a 3 out of 10, a 2 out of 10. The only redeeming thing is she has Cold Judgment and then Fierce Battle. Battlefield Diva, I suppose, is useful as well, but very, very poor link set. But Android 18 providing a lot. So Android 18 actually does have the money link, which is not a link you're going to activate too horribly often. She actually does share that with Videl. And then, of course, Battlefield Diva. So Battlefield Diva at link level 10, you're actually getting 3 keys. So at full link level 10 for both of these units, Android 18 giving Videl 30% attack just from her support type passive. And then, from money, she's going to be giving her 2 key, 20% defense. And then, of course, remember that 30% defense and 3 key from her support. So total, so far, that's 50% defense and 5 key. And then, at link level 10, Battlefield Diva is giving 3 key. And then a 5% chance to evade, which we know Videl's passive, it's very helpful if she can evade. So specifically in that first slot, I mean, I guess even in the second slot or whatever, but specifically in that first slot, it's going to be very, very nice for her to evade so she can become super effective against all types. So, total, Android 18 is providing 30% attack to Videl, 8 key, and then a 50% defense, and then a 5% chance to evade. So this is one of Videl's best linking partners, even though they're only sharing like 1 link. It doesn't matter, because Android 18 has a very bad link set herself, right? Again, that money link. She's got like a bunch of these Android links, but she's meant to be run on a team without other androids on this, this movie heroes. It's the Gifted Warriors. It's the Bio Broly movie, right? That's really the team she's meant to be run on. So the one led by Goten and Trunks. So anyway, guys, a very, very good tandem. So, Videl, obviously I imagine we all know about Videl at this point. So we know at this point she's raising defense on her super attack along with infinitely stacking attack. When she evades in the first slot, she's becoming super effective against all types. When she gets hit, she gets a big attack buff. She's getting 158% attack and defense start of turn. She's getting attack plus 58%. When attacking, like, she is wild. Of course, she has that unit super attack when you have a Gohan teen on the team, which of course we do on the team. She's got the active skill, which I will play, but I don't think I use it until the very last phase. So remember, she gets that 20, like the out of turn, if you will, that out of turn active skill buff she gets. And then she also debuffs herself out of turn. So she's losing a bit of defense. Usually, I mean, at 55%, I mean, depending on the rotation and stuff, she's usually losing about 20, 30k defense, which is certainly significant, even when you are double super attacking. So that is one thing about Videl. To me, that is what sets her apart from, like, most other units in the game. Is like, sure, you could tell me Int Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is incredibly effective, and he's very, very good on all of his teams and stuff like that. But what makes Videl so ridiculous is this ability to double super attack. Int Gogeta, he's got the ability to dodge and counter supers and stuff, but this ability of Videl to double raise her defense, pretty much unconditional unless she's in the third slot, but pretty much it's unconditional because you always want to run her in the first slot if you can help it. Now, if she's getting absolutely shellacked in the first slot and they cancel dodging, it might be a good idea to like stick her in the second slot. But with her stacking attack, and again, the defensive raises, and when she's in the first and second slot, she's getting the guaranteed supers, it just benefits you a lot, right, to run her in, at the very least, slot 2. But slot 1, for sure, you want to be running her. And remember that also she can be a solid floating option. She does have a 50% chance to evade, and she gets an additional 58% attack when she's in the third slot. So it's not as though she's a slouch in the third slot. She's just a little, you know, I would say actually a lot bit better in that first and second slots. So the last unit we have not gone over is, of course, the leader of the team, and one of the best units in the game over here on the global side of Dokkan is STR Videl, right? The Goku and Vegito, Goku and Vegeta who fuse into Vegito, who I believe I have used one of the transformations at this point. 28k, by the way. And we're going to actually get tagged here. So Videl not getting the clutch dodge, 330,000 she took, but she is going to be A-OK on that 4 million attack stat, super effective against all types. Very, very good showing, even though, I mean, I know she got tagged really, really hard there. But again, you know, she should have I wish she would have dodged that and shown off a little bit, but it is what it is, right? But Vegito. So again, we know Goku and Vegeta, man, they're raising attack and defense on Super, along with their 30% damage reduction. Attack and defense, 120%. And of course, they have that OG LR Gohan mechanic, where they are getting an additional 1 key per key sphere obtained. So 3 key on an STR key sphere, and then 2 key basically on any other key sphere. So that is pretty much how that works. So I have already got one of the fusions. Now, this was a blunder, but let's go ahead and let this play. So why it was a blunder is what you see on your screen now. So if I kind of like last minute decided I wanted to fuse, and I basically told myself, I'm not resetting the app. I'm not going through all that BS. Then I got to stop the recording and do this and do that. Obviously, with that super attack in the second slot, I would have preferred had type advantage in it, but I just figured, you know, at a certain point, if it was someone a little more fragile and delicate, I maybe would have reset the app and stuff, but Goten is completely fine. He's not going to take much damage at all, but obviously Trunks would have tanked a little bit better even than Goten, having that fizz typing, so. But Vegito, man, when Vegito comes out to play, Vegito is still incredibly strong, even though, oh, what a bastard dodging, by the way. But Vegito incredibly strong, even though he takes a lot of flack, from myself included, right? I give him a lot of flack as well, because he doesn't really perform that well in the God of Destruction event. You know, the Gods of Destruction assemble. But, nonetheless, Vegito, when he transforms, we all know he does the ridiculous counters. You know, when he's got those big LR stats, the counters are quite useful. I mean, especially because he's got a 25% chance to crit. It just, you know, woven right into his passive, which is really, really nice. And if you go ahead and go full crit with him, you've got this 30% chance for him to crit. And then, you know, potentially an additional, 40% chance to crit. So, I mean, he could be critting every single time if you got a couple of dupes in him, right? So he is really, really good, and he does, of course, raise attack and defense on super attack. So he still can be quite good in his fair share of events. Again, this one included, particularly if you've got some dupes in him. If you're running him at 55%, straight up, dude, he's going to struggle, because he's got like a, what does he have, like a 9,000 defensive stat or something at 55%? It's not very high. You know, you compare that with, you know, LR Tech Gogeta, for instance. LR Tech Gogeta, his defensive stat is through the moon, right? I mean, that's one reason why I actually prefer LR Tech Gogeta. I know a lot of you are going to disagree with me. I, you know, honestly don't care. Like, you know, I know the way that I play the game, and I do like counter units. I do like Goku and Vegeta. The STR Goku and Vegeta, man, they are almost a perfect unit, so. I do quite like both the Goku and Vegetas, but I mean, go ahead and peep the logo, right? Like, I'm a Gogeta guy at heart. So, what I want to do now is more or less focus on the fight, because now the real fight kind of begins, right? So we've got about another 7 minutes or so of Videl and the Majin Buu saga just trying to take down this Goku, right? So we're going to go ahead and pop the Android... Oh, I'm sorry. I popped the Princess Snake here. So I figured the 30% damage reduction, especially for Vegito on the end, is going to be really, really good. Luckily, he is super attacking our best defensive unit. So remember that this 18 also has damage reduction. So that makes her the best defense. I know Videl is busted, right? And she's double supering. You know, her getting 230% raises, I mean, she's up over 200,000 defense. But, you know, you've got 18 who's up over 200,000 defense with 18% damage reduction. So that is just huge, right? So luckily he is supering in that second slot. Another thing actually that Vegito does have going for him is the 10 full turns of the Scouter ability, right? That is huge. So what I would argue, the counterpoint I would argue to that, not to get into the whole Gogeta and Vegito thing, but the thing is Tech Gogeta, he doesn't need 10 turns of the Scouter ability. You know why? Because he cannot take damage for those first 5 turns, right? Like, he doesn't need the Scouter ability. The Scouter ability is for everyone else. Vegito, it's meant for him, right? Same thing with even like AGL Vegito. So AGL Super Vegito, he needs that Scouter ability for himself, so he doesn't get tagged with a super attack. It's the same thing with STR Videl, right? Even at level 10 links, fully rainbowed, he's going to take damage on a super, unless maybe you've got like some defensive equips on him and he gets a double super or something, but he's nearly going to get you one-shotted. But that's my whole argument is, oh, well, Tech Gogeta only gets 5 turns of the Scouter ability. And it's like, dog, yeah, you know why? Because he doesn't need 10 turns. Because he's a monster. So, defensively, anyway, I will concede that Vegito does, like, way, like, more than, like, I don't know. Does he do, like, 3 times the damage? Maybe it's 2 times the damage or something as Tech Gogeta. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Luckily, this unit has 30% damage reduction themselves. So we took a bit of damage there, but remember what this guy can do, right? The full power Saiyan 4 Goku. Just keep in mind, like, what he is capable of. So there's Videl sitting there about 140k defense. I think I'm debating on whether or not to use an item here. And I think I decided to go with no. So let's see how she tanks here. I actually don't remember because I think we only popped a Princess Snake last turn, if I'm not mistaken. So I think I decided not to pop an... I don't remember. I wasn't looking right. But I think I decided not to pop an item yet because we're not getting super attacked. If we were getting super attacked, then I would have popped an item. But up over 5 million, man. Unfortunately, no super effective against all types. But again, you know, Android 18 providing an 18% chance to crit, man. Like, she's so good, dude. Android 18, she is really good and not in any danger of taking damage from either of these 2 units. Remember the 5th of December. No, I'm just kidding. Remember that the Teen Gohan on the end there, the Great Saiyan Man, he's got 28% damage reduction because he's on rotation with a Peppy Gal. Actually, 2 of them, but, you know, either a Peppy Gal or a Youth. So he is good to go as well. So just definitely no items needed right there. Definitely not. So in this particular situation, obviously we are trying to keep Goten out of harm's way. But Goten's going to be completely fine, especially with an additional 50% defense, man. He's going to be just fine. Peachy keen, you would say. So he would obviously get hit incredibly hard. Dude, this Goku, this Super Saiyan 4 Goku, man, he can hit you. If you have type disadvantage, I mean, he could hit you for like could he hit you for 1 million? I mean, maybe. Like with the wrong unit, like a unit who doesn't stack defense or something and they're type disadvantage, could he hit you for like 700-800k? I think probably he could. That's pretty crazy. So, as you can see, man, this Trunks and Goten rotation is very, very effective in here. Even if you do not have all of the other gifted warriors, so if you don't have the Goten and Trunks Dokkan Fest exclusive like your boy, it doesn't matter, man. You can run them on any single team. If you're running them together on the same rotation, dude, they are one of the best tandems in the game. I'm actually going to be starting a series. I don't know when I'm going to fit it in. You know, I could potentially start here, you know, soon. But I want to make the best rotations in Dokkan. You know, and it's not going to be in any particular order or anything like that, but Trunks and Goten, man, they are going to be near the top of the list, I would dare say. The effectiveness they have, the way they greatly raise defense for 6 turns. I mean, it's attack and defense, right? But they specifically are raising defense for 6 turns on top of damage reduction, on top of providing support to one another. Like, they are so good. And you could even argue the movie heroes, Trunks and Goten, the Int and the Tech one, they are a very, very nasty combo for sure. They get all their defense on super, so the only problem is you got to run one of them in slot 1, right? So, but after they super attack, dude, they basically can't take damage when they are on rotation together. So I decided to get the other Potara fusion here. So realistically, I just wanted it for the heal. We are so I've mentioned this in a lot of other videos. Obviously, as we wrap up the video here, these active skills, right? You know, other than the transformations, but these active skills. So, for instance, this active skill that I'm about to use with Videl. These active skills are meant to simply be finishing moves. I think that Dokkan has proven it time and time and time again. So, like, you even look at a unit, so, like, for instance, Golden Frieza. So Golden Frieza has the most ideal one in the game, right? You can use it whenever the fuck you want. It doesn't, it's like, it's still realistically meant to be used as a finishing move, because he does so much in his base form. You know, he's sealing, he's dodging, he's stacking defense, you know what I'm saying? So him getting that extra damage and stuff, it's meant to be a finishing move. And I maintain, man, I get that people want to see the animations they paid for, but, like, you just got to understand, that's what you're paying for in an active skill, dude. So obviously we are about to wrap up this event, man. The Majin Buu saga is crazy. In the right circumstance, man, Videl makes an excellent addition to the Majin Buu saga, provided you build the team a bit around her. But guys, we're going to wrap up the video here. Slap a like if you enjoyed it. Of course, subscribe if you are new. I love you guys, and I will catch all of you in the next one. Later.